Hey guys, and welcome to another Warframe video. Today we're actually going to take a look at probably the most commented thing on my videos in the last couple of months, and that is why I'm using Mesa and has my build changed since I did my original video on her. Well, let's have a quick look at my updated build for her before we check out why I've been using Mesa so much more often. If you check out the bottom of the screen now, you can see that we have a fairly well balanced build, whilst focusing very much more on duration than anything else. Two of Mesa's strongest abilities are Shatter Shield and Shooting Gallery, and since we don't have much room on Mesa, we've only got one of the two efficiency mods, for example, to make room for the augment. We need to keep those abilities up as much as you possibly can. So there you can see both Max Narrow-Minded and Prime Continuity on there to compensate for the duration loss from the Max Fleeting that we have on there to compensate for the lack of Streamline. So there's a lot of compensation going on here for the various mods that we've got. And then to combat the range loss from Narrow-Minded, we've got both Stretch and Cunning Drift on there. Range is important for the Shooting Gallery stun, so we want to try and keep that as high as we possibly can. After that, we have Vitality for survivability, and then the Staggering Shield augment, meaning that enemies get staggered by the return fire from Shatter Shield, and I will do a specific video for Mesa's augments a little bit later this week. Now, builds are an always evolving thing, and you will have noticed that I no longer have redirection on there, and if you check probably even my last video I used Mesa, I did have it on there. However, talking with people, checking out builds from friends that I talk to a lot, I have used elements of my own build combined with some suggestions from DefactoOverlord, a good friend of mine, who has some amazing builds to come up with this build that I am extremely happy with and find fantastic. So why do I really like Mesa so much? Well, it's her incredible looks combined with her skill set and her survivability that really makes me use her a lot. She has so many different layers of defense that she becomes an insane tank. 95% damage reduction on all projectiles from Shatter Shield means that you really don't have to worry too much about things that are firing at you from range, especially those nullifier lankers and bombard missiles that have a ridiculously annoying tendency to one-shot you if you're not careful, especially at higher levels. You really don't need to worry about those that much at all. But then you combine that with Staggering Shield augment, you've got a second layer of defense, that is when bullets are reflected back to the enemies, they've got a 30% chance of staggering the target it gets reflected to, meaning that enemies that fire a lot of rounds at you have a high chance of being staggered, interrupting their fire entirely, really affecting those high damage volume enemies like heavy gunners or the Corpus Techs, especially those that take a few seconds to get up to full speed while they're firing their weapons. So that's 2 levels of defense already. But wait, there's more. Not only does Shooting Gallery increase the damage on your weapons, it also has an AoE stun that will hit one enemy at a time and cause their weapon to jam, and it makes them stop to fix it for a few seconds, meaning that they are no longer attacking you, especially now it got buffed so that one instance of Shooting Gallery will never leave Mesa. You can be a great team buff, giving each member of your team that stun in a rotating fashion, helping you to increase their survivability as well. And this works so fantastically well against those melee units that are going to come in and try and hit you, because obviously your Shatter Shield only affects projectiles, it doesn't affect melee. So trying to stun those melee units that are coming in to try and hit you, things like the Corrupted Butchers, is definitely the job of this ability. Now, this 3-layered defense really makes Mesa so ridiculously tanky. You can just concentrate on doing what you need to do. Defend the pod, revive your allies, or whatever it is you need to do, without worrying about being killed quickly by high-level enemies. However, this tankiness has also meant that Mesa's ended up as my most invested in frame in terms of her arcanes, and this is something that I don't often talk about anywhere near enough as I should. On her helmet, I have Arcane Awakening, gives her a 12% chance for 60% more damage on her secondary weapons for 16 seconds every time you reload, which synergizes so well with her passive frame abilities. 20% more reload on the one-handed sidearms, things like the Vacor Murloc, the Lex Prime, or 20% more fire rate with dual-wielder sidearms like the Axoletto Prime, the Akjagara. So the weapons, honestly, those are the weapons I find most fun to play with anyway, so that's always a good start. In addition to that, I also have Arcane Avenger on her Sandana, which means that she has a 14% chance to proc when you take damage to give an additional 30% critical chance to your weapons, and that is additional as well. It adds 30%, so if you've got 1% crit, you now have 31% crit. And since Mesa doesn't have to worry about taking damage at all, then this synergy works insanely well with her. And as Megami showed quite a while ago, a crit nucore is actually an extremely funny thing, and I'm going to start working on forming a crit nucore this week to mess about with it while I use Mesa. This gives an insane damage increase while playing Mesa, and synergizes so well with everything else, meaning the things you normally can't do. You can go with weird builds on weapons like the nucore, but also go further with weapons that normally wouldn't go so far in a mission. But more importantly, Mesa really suits my playstyle. I love the high-speed gunplay in Warframe, and her tankiness as well as her skill set really allows me to play the way I want to play, and have great fun doing it. That's why often you'll see me when I'm just derping around playing normally. Although if a certain mission or certain team composition we need for a mission needs something else, of course I'm going to switch to that. But Mesa is probably my favourite frame to play right now. Nyx is still my all-time favourite frame, but just for good old fun, without constantly worrying where your next death is coming from, you can't go wrong with Mesa, provided you keep your abilities up. Now, I hope you guys enjoyed this quick little look at Mesa, and why she is my go-to frame for just chilling out and playing the game. I've seen a lot of questions on videos recently as to why I use Mesa, and that's why a lot of people remember her just for Peacemaker. She's actually one hell of a frame when you just ignore that fourth ability. As always guys, many thanks for watching, and I shall catch you in the next one.